Today, I want to talk to you all about perimenopause, menopause, and changing hormones and their impact on your sleep. Now, sleep changes for men and women across the entire lifespan. This change can feel particularly dramatic for women in the perimenopausal and menopausal years. Perimenopause can actually begin up to 10 years before the average age of menopause onset, which tends to be around 51. The reality is, everybody's sleep quality, men and women's, begins to decline by the age of 30 and continues declining throughout our lifespan. Before that age, women had a perk. Women tend to have better sleep quality than their male counterparts under the age of 30. For women approaching the menopause, changes in our sex hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, and yes, testosterone, which falls through the floor when we hit menopause, have a really significant impact on lots of aspects of our life, including sleep. About half of women complaining of sleeping difficulties because of these hormonal changes. So what exactly are these changes and how do they affect our sleep? I'm going to sum it up in a few bullet points. Estrogen improves GABAergic activity. GABA is a neurotransmitter that has a lot of different functions within the brain, but when it comes to sleep, it tends to be an inhibitory chemical. It tends to be a helper chemical for sleep. As our estrogen falls, it obviously has less of an ability to help GABA do its job in the brain. Estrogen also can help with the metabolism of serotonin, our happy chemical. Serotonin is not only a precursor to melatonin, drops in serotonin are also potentially related to the likelihood of increased anxiety and increased depression in perimenopausal and menopausal women. A drop in estrogen also raises our core body temperature at night, which can not only disturb our sleep quality, but make us more prone to hot flushes. Of course, estrogen isn't the only one we're concerned with. Progesterone levels also change, and dropping progesterone levels are particularly important when it comes to the slackening of our soft tissues. And I'm not just talking about the funny skin that grows over your knees or the extra wrinkles that you have on your neck. I'm talking about the inner structures of the throat here. And the reason this is important is related to a condition called sleep apnea. The generalization is that sleep apnea is only found in large males. But did you know that the rate of sleep apnea actually doubles in women when they hit menopause? This is because of that slackening of the tissues as a result of dropping progesterone. If the tissues in our throat are slack, they're more likely to collapse in and affect our airway, resulting in apnea. But I'm not a sleep doctor and I'm not a specialist in sleep apnea. I'm a specialist in insomnia. And a lot of my clients are perimenopausal and menopausal, just like myself. It's just a biological fact that half of women feel an impact of their sleep as a result of changing hormones. When we're talking about insomnia, we're also talking about an additional layer. Let me explain. Someone could experience a hot flush as a result of that change in estrogen and wake in the night and then fall back to sleep after the hot flush passes. Another person could have a hot flush, wake up, and then remain awake for 2 hours. The difference between these two women is that latter woman is laying awake in bed, probably upset about her symptoms, probably anxious about being woken up, probably anxious about not sleeping very well, might be anxious about what's going to happen the next day. And because menopausal women are more prone to anxiety, that anxiety might be amplified. The more anxiety that woman feels, the more hot flushes she might experience, which then result in more wake-ups and more distress about the impact on sleep. This obviously creates a vicious circle. This psychobiological insomnia is actually really poorly studied in menopausal women. Perhaps unsurprisingly, there is not enough research that's been done on the management of insomnia during the menopause. Despite the fact that we make up over 50% of the population and 100% of us, if we hit this age, will experience perimenopause or menopausal symptoms of some kind, there's still an awful lot that needs to be done when it comes to researching our insomnia. Now, none of this is medical advice, and you need to speak to your doctor to find out what's most appropriate for you. But a lot of women have been helped by hormone management therapies and SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Both of these can help with some of the physical symptoms and also help improve sleep quality. There are some additional risks for some women with the use of HRT, and some women can't tolerate SSRIs. Unfortunately, a lot of women get prescribed sedatives for insomnia during the menopause, and this can actually increase the risk of apneic events at night. This is, of course, because the tissues in our throat are already lax, and taking a sedative or drinking alcohol only makes those tissues slacker and puts us more at risk of developing apnea. But there is great news. One of the best evidenced approaches for the management of insomnia in menopausal women and in all women is actually sleep therapies like CBTI. And there are no side effects except for the ones we actually want. Improved sleep duration, improved sleep quality, fewer night awakenings, and actually fewer hot flushes too. In studies where they have looked at CBTI and compared them to control groups where there's no intervention, menopause education management groups, acupuncture groups, and lots of other different kinds of treatment groups, they've found that the women who undergo CBTI types of interventions have improved sleep and reduced symptoms at night. Who could ask for more than that? All without unwanted side effects. Now, if you found this video interesting, please hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel. I promise to get back to you with more interesting and informative videos and shorts.